Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation.
All right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Before I get into the introductions of everyone and so on and so forth, I just had an emotional moment while the countdown was going on. I really did. I'm still slightly in my emotional moment, because I didn't realize that this was episode 100. So please forgive me if your boy gets a little bit emotional at this moment. But the truth of the matter is, when starting this, I never even thought about 100. So the fact that we are on episode 100 just does something to me, man. It just kind of warms my heart, man. So I appreciate, first of all of my people, Quan and Portia and Rick and Mario and Maya and Apri and Ken, like all the people who have been in this process. So appreciate y'all. But let's go ahead and get to the show. So let me go ahead and introduce the crew.
Hey.
Yo.
You sound low, but everything else is loud around you, by the way.
I sound low?
Yes, you sound low. Everything else.
How about now?
Better.
You know what's really bad?
Good.
That I thought I fixed all of this. Hold on. Let me figure out what's going on.
No, you good now.
No, you good now.
But it's loud in my ear now.
Well, put one ear and do your DJ thing again.
No, because it's super loud. Okay, how about now? You can still I'm still good.
You still good.
All right, but see now I can. Hello. Hello. 100 episodes and I still ain't got it right. All right, hello. Can you hear me now? Is it low now?
Yes.
It's low. It's back to being low.
Now it's not low?
You all right.
God dang it. See, now I got to take... You know what?
You all right?
Introduce the panel. Quan, what's going on, bro?
What's up, family? One hundo, CN. It's been fun, man. We've had a lot of funny moments. We went viral a couple of times, in my opinion, with Rick talking about Southern. Dropping this music education, Nalo on people. We went to Atlanta. We got some miles, I guess. Where else we went? Houston. We've been to Houston for the National Battle of the Bands. You know, look at us now, whole family. And I wasn't even supposed to be on the show.
Facts.
Hey, hold on, bro.
Me neither.
You hit that fact and I like that.
That's true. Neither one of y'all. So, but I mean, how it happened, it was supposed to happen the way it happened, man.
I did it.
Yes.
God did it.
Absolutely.
God did it.
Is my mic a little bit better?
It's better, bro. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Don't say that. If you don't, because it was like semi-dismissive. But,
No.
All right, cool. All right. Portia, what's up? What you got?
Nothing. Just happy to be here, man. It's Wednesday, hump day, almost to the weekend.
I love it.
Yeah.
So real quick though, another thing that is, I want to put this race out there at this point. So if you're new to the Passionate Network, we have a couple of shows on. We actually have more than a couple of shows on here, but we are now on the race to 1,000 subscribers. We are at 810 subscribers. We are on the race now to 1,000 subscribers. So if you are subscribed to us, if you're here right now, go ahead, tell your mama, your uncle, your cousin, your sister, your brother, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Help get us to 1,000 subscribers. We are right on the cusp, and we gonna get it. All right. Also, well, I'll talk to y'all about that afterwards. All right, so let's go ahead and get into today's conversation. I'm gonna tell you how this actually all came about. What ended up happening was, as you guys know, I had the Luke Band Report, and I was talking about the HBCU culture battle of the bands, which I ended up talking to. Well, actually, I talked to both of y'all about it. Me and Portia talked about it. Quan, I called you about it, and so I did the show, and something resonated within me that really made me say, you know what? I got some issues. So I called two people who were very prominent in my band music education career, and they gave me some really great thoughts and insight. But I still was not 100% set on my thoughts as it relates to how we deal with band and the culture and our people and so on and so forth. So much so that I was like, yo, the way this be rocking, it be kind of rocking like it's the Pimp game. And so with that, that's how this conversation came about. And so yeah, cover that up. We don't need no product placement. They ain't sponsoring us yet. There we go. So yeah. So so with that being said, I wanted to go ahead and get into this conversation. And one of the things that I will continuously do is I will have some of the conversations that most people won't, and or I will have the conversations that a lot of band directors be wanting to have, but they can't have. So let's get into this. First things first. And I think this is going to really open up a lot of the conversation. Remember, guys, in the comments, go ahead and say what y'all got to say. Give your thoughts, so on and so forth. What do you all feel the goal for high school band is? We're going to start at the lower levels, high school, middle school, so on and so forth, and then we're going to bring it up. So what do you all think the goal is for the lower level high school, middle school bands? Well, Portia, you got it first.
I'm going to do a then and now. When I was in high school band, it was to prepare you for whatever the next phase of life was. If you wanted to, at least my high school experience, it was, whatever you wanted to do, it taught you life skills. If you were a musician, it honed those skills, along the way. Every year you grew. If that included going on to a college band, it prepared you for that. If you wanted to gig and not go straight to college, it taught improv, skills and different things like that along the way. Now, what I see, it's an audition for the band directors or people who work at those high schools to get college gigs. I don't feel like it's about the kids as much anymore. And that's not everybody. It's this social media thing. I just have seen a shift. Some people are still in the trenches trying to make the students better, Brother Quan, in those streets. You, Julian, Rick, different people. Some people's here for that. But it's a lot of showboating and look at me stuff happening now. But the goal should still be to prepare people for whatever's next for them, because band doesn't just teach you. I know for me, it didn't just teach me. I didn't just learn color guard. I learned life skills, time management, how to prioritize when your schedule is crazy, how to work hard to get certain results. And so those life skills, those things you learn in band do translate. And so the goal should be to prepare the students for whatever is next. But I think some of that has changed.
All right, Quan. The goal for high school band, middle school band, so on and so forth.
Oh man, so that's I'm gonna just say it's a loaded question. We're gonna go there on the 100 episode. We gonna if we gonna do it, then do it. Middle school band specifically, uh, in black and brown community is damn near obsolete. Let's start with that. If you have a comprehensive, adequate program at the middle school level, you're blessed. Straight up, you're blessed. Um, Outside of the after school drumline program that they always emphasize, or trying to create an orchestra because it's cheaper than band. If you have a instrumental band class in the middle school level, then you doing something with the adequate teacher. Let me just say that. But overall, the middle school and high school level in certain areas and neighborhoods is survival now. That's number one. It's survival. Um, when you think about the constant cutting of funds, who's the first to go? Right? When you speak about uh ensuring adequate class schedules, who's the dumping ground? Hey, Katie. Uh, when you speak about all of that, who's the first to go? Bam, right? I think to a degree, honestly, we're at a dangerous bridge right now where we're at the point of holding on to history and traditions of who we are, as well as going into the digital age of solely for entertainment. We're at a dangerous bridge now. Uh, and I'm gonna be genuine. Since the inception of this episode and the added of Portia, I'm gonna just be honest, bro. I didn't care about no flags or color guards. Just being honest, because I didn't understand it, right? But that's the whole point of music education, of the art form of marching arts, because now those flags, when she just educated me alone of, hey, have your silk a completely different color. That can enhance your show. Look at them as great seasoning or additives instead of messing up the whole recipe. We're playing survival for middle school and high school. How do I know? This is no shot to any university, but look at some of the audition requirements. Some of the audition requirements are the equivalent of a sophomore in high school. I get it, because some of these programs are holding on by a thread. Some of these programs are only surviving because of the historical name of the high school and the alumni is holding it together. But if it's up to certain admin, you know, it'll be gone. It's nothing for them to turn your school to STEM instead of STEAM. It's nothing for them. The standardized testing in this prison to pipeline concept is more prevalent than anything that I've seen in the last 5 years of me teaching. So I'll leave it at that. We're playing survival. There's so much more I can add to it, but we're trying to survive.
That was yeah. You hit a lot of points. So we got playing survival, audition for the college level, which I honestly don't disagree with in a lot of cases. And then I saw somebody in the chat put love for the art form. So my question is then, if you could say from your anecdotal experience, from what you see now, would you argue that the goal for high school now is to structure the kids to be able to to be able to grow as intellectual human beings for this world, as well as have an appreciation for the art form?
That's what it should be.
I'm asking from your experience, your anecdotal experience, from what you see, not specifically in your classroom, but across the gambit of band, music educators, so on and so forth. Is that what you see, or do you see something different?
So it depends on what campus that you're on. I think for the most part, the core of the band director, let me just say this, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. The core of the band director should be one to do that. And I'm not gonna place that blanket on them to say that they don't, right? But I think with anything, just like any politician, at the grassroots level, your heart could have been for the people. But as you move up, certain things change. Certain people are not mature enough truly to have that ghetto fame or that band world fame, because sometimes it goes to your head. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you get to certain levels, maybe you didn't know who you were. So then you change and you alter. However, I do believe that initially the goal is always to make the person better. I think everybody that gets into this profession, because we know we don't make enough, we know it's long hours, it has to be for a greater purpose that's bigger than you, right? So with that being said, it has to be for the greater good of the students, leaving a legacy for the arts. I think pinning the person in certain situations, people want to leave a legacy for themselves instead of the legacy for the program or the art form. I don't think Dr. William P. Foster created FAMU with just him in mind. I don't think the Mr. Batheas and Dr. Liddell's and Dr. Isaac Greg's, even though he was arrogant, we know that. I don't think it was for the sole purpose of him. Because from the interviews that he stated, from speaking about seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all, like, these men, like, they were about leaving legacy for the greater good of a race of people, initially just African Americans, because we didn't have those opportunities. But I think now, as we stated, with social media, so forth and so on, I think we're getting things thwarted. What's the bigger picture? The purpose should be that we're transmogrifying these kids who didn't know they were able to do something to do it.
Okay. So I have this one last question before I move on to the next question. Then, would you also argue to some that the goal is to give the students an experience that you once had that had an impact on you?
I want to hear Portia.
My goal is to give them a better experience.
We just talking high school. We ain't at college yet. So just want to make sure I put that out there. Go ahead.
What's the question again?
What I said was, could you argue that the goal to some would be to give the students an experience that the educator once had before?
Yeah. I will say my love for band started in high school. So if you can give that to somebody else, it can change their life. I know it changed mine. So yeah, that should be the goal.
All right, cool. All right. So I appreciate those answers, because now we're about to get to it. We about to really get in and dig deep. I got you, Quan. I'll put it in there for you. All right. Pause.
Boys ain't never seen Lean on Me when Joe Clark was like, I came to transform and transmogrify these kids so they could blossom and grow. Damn. Y'all niggas now.
People forgot, man. People forgot. But I got your back, man. I got your back. All right. So here we go. The goal of the HBCU band. What do you all feel the goal of the HBCU band is?
Internally or externally?
Ooh, not a preach, girl.
You know what? Let's go ahead and
Go down.
shake the world up. Let's
Go down.
both let's hit both of them.
Better go down.
For most of the universities, it's a tool they can pimp. Since we're talking pimp game, for the most part, it's something a tool they can use when they having an event. It's an automatic draw. I think internally it depends on the program. It should be the same thing as the high school level, though. You should want to give them the experience. I don't want to say that you had, because not everybody that works a part in these programs had this experience, but that's a conversation for another day. But the goal should be to prepare, while preparing these students for life, giving them life skills. You should also be growing them. You should be teaching. It's still learning. It's a place of higher education. And it should also be fun. Anybody that's working all the time with no fun, that sounds like a slave to me. But yeah, I think it should be a combination of those things, teaching, growing, learning, fun, and adding life skills, things that they can utilize outside of the program. That should be the goal.
All right. Should be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Quan, what about you? HBCU. What do you think the goal is, or what do you feel the goal is?
Inside your music building, the goal is to make you better, as the best as they can. And if we're gonna be genuine, on 100 episodes, we fall short of that a lot. If you look at it, because all three of us have been blessed to attend a HBCU, but we've also been blessed and fortunate enough to attend and receive advanced degrees from predominantly white institutions. One thing that I see the difference between the two is a predominantly white institution prepares you professionally better to a degree. But personally, there are certain things that they lack. Meaning, and what I want to expound on that real quick. At HBCUs, they build character. There's certain aspects of tenacity and this tenacious grit that they give you at HBCU. But due to sometimes the stretching thin of faculty members, they're not able, and resources, they're not able to expose you to certain things and be privy to certain, opportunities. The goal of the HBCU inside of the music building is to make you the best music educator that you can possibly be. Outside of that music building, you're there to shuck and jive. Period. In the words of Portia, in regards to the pimp game, real talk, they tap you on the forehead after they done, if they nice. The reality of it is, whatever dignitary comes in, hey, I need the band to play. Whatever representation of the school that they want, they send the band to play. They want those people that donate those money. We even do it to the point where we have to politic so much, where you have a person who has nothing to do with the HBCU band culture will literally stand there and will hold the drum major mace for a photo op. I remember a few years ago, the guy from Virgin Mobile had put on a whole St. Augustine uniform and was standing next to the drum majors. Come on, bro.
Baby, not never in this life or the next.
But that's what we do.
What's happened with the Legion before?
Let me explain something to you. Not in my lifetime.
What, didn't it do it for real?
No. They gifted him one in a frame. It was not on his person. And it was not a current Legion uniform. It is the retired ones.
Yeah, it's happened with us before, and we was piced.
I ain't never seen it.
I mean,
but what's the point of that?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. I see the comment, I believe that pimping is from external people / organizations. But all the pimping I see is coming from the administration of the university. Even when we say no to stuff, if the person got enough pull, if they call the university, we got to go anyway.
Right. So it's pimping. And here's the thing about pimping. I'll put it to you in these terms. HBCU bands are the hoes at times, and then the track is how they see fit to use us. That's just what it is. When you have bands that can't even go to all their away games, now we're like, because let's speak about the history of marching band. The purpose is to do what? Be the pep or hype squad for the football team, right? But the crazy thing about that is, when I get to the games, y'all got DJs, but then you'll blow the whistle on me talking about I can't play. So what am I here for?
And I'm sorry that none of these big schools, you're not telling me it's not they can play in loud settings, but we got to be quiet. That doesn't make any sense. Those stadiums hold way more people than these HBCU stadiums. But that's a topic for another day.
So I'm looking at the comments, Brother Moore. You said some of them don't go to the away games. The one thing that took place over this recent holiday break was for one of the bowl games. I forget the schools, but I think it was Michigan and another school. Literally, the two bands was like, nah, if we can't go on at our proper time and have the full halftime show, we not going at all. And when those people decided, like they took a stand and they stood 10 toes down, ESPN recorded it and had literally notified people when they were coming on. I think that was before the national championship game. That they said, if we don't get our full time and you treat us like we're supposed to be treated, we're not going on. And because of that, they won. I feel like, honestly, if HBCUs make that decision, now, if I'm gonna use this example, what if Grambling and Southern was like, nah, we're not going to the Bayou Classic until we get some more money? Do you know what will happen? If TSU or PV was like, nah, we're not going to the Labor Day Classic. Nah. If Bethune-Cookman and FAMU be like, nah, we're not going to the Florida Classic because we need more money. And we tired of begging for something that we're supposed to already have. When you think about these universities, for the most part, you think about the band first. When it's freshman camp, who goes first? The band. When it's the alma mater song, who goes first? The band. The legacy and establishment of these universities, you think about the band first. That's all I'm saying.
So I'm gonna say, you all said some absolutely wonderfully true things that I 100% agree with. But I'm gonna ask the question to flip the script. Fine, I agree that externally we do get pimped. On the macro, yes, we do get pimped. But here's the question, the next question I have. Do we also pimp ourselves?
Yeah, we do.
I need you to elaborate on that.
Great that you asked that question, because I absolutely earnestly agree in the fact and what Quan was talking about. The fact that you have to stay 10 toes down on your organization when being asked to do certain performances. However, when a random promoter slaps Battle of the Band on it and then say it's for the culture, we ready to jump and do it. But we don't require them to truly pay the band program. So let me get this straight. You will ask for the kids will put the man hours in, the staff will put the work hours in to be able to put on the show. You will pay for their room. Oh, wow. You asked me to come out. Of course you should pay for my rooms. You should really be paying for the buses too. You asked me. But then you will still go because it's for the culture. We doing it off the love. I know these people. These my partners. They gonna give us $20,000. What's $20,000 gonna do for an HBCU university program?
Child, you went up too high. Some of these people is paying 10K.
10. So do we pimp ourselves?
I mean, but to me, here we go. Let's talk about it. So some of it is keeping your band program relevant. Because if you don't go, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. The MEAC is on the struggle bus, okay? We don't see anybody. So we have to go to these things. We have to travel to see people. I'm not saying for the university, the kids will be bored to darn death. I'm trying to not curse. They'll be bored. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody coming in our stadium. They would be looking at each other. Okay? So for us, you kind of have to give them something to do. I'm speaking from personal experience from this MEAC life that I'm living. I'm not saying that I completely agree, but I mean, we gotta give them something. Otherwise, they're gonna be playing for themselves all year.
Quan, you got it? Quan, go ahead.
I mean, what Portia said is real. So, again, what did I say middle school and high school are doing? Surviving. Real talk, as a Black community, I hate to say it like this, in a lot of areas, that's really what we're doing. Surviving. And a few of us are truly thriving, but the masses are screaming for the ones who are trying to do the right thing. Unfortunately, let's be honest though too. A part of the quote unquote pimping game that you're seeing right now is we're oversaturated. That's number one. If you had 1 to 2, top tier battle of the bands that these bands truly are trying to push and go to, then you could fill up an entire stadium. But when you got a battle of the band in December, you got Honda that's fell off, you got HBCU culture that's on the gym floor. You may have another one in what, after March. You're gonna have another one in May. You're gonna have a gym battle. So honestly, if you flood the neighborhood with drugs, wouldn't it be cheaper after a while? That's all I'm saying. I just use that as an analogy. Snowfall, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, go ahead.
Here's the thing. I think that's part of the pimp game. They figured out it was money in this. So that's why they doing it. Some of these people do not, some of them barely know anything about band programs, university bands, but they figured out from Honda and all this other stuff that there is money here. So if I hold it, they gonna come. If I slap certain names on it, they gonna come.
I agree.
But the problem is people and I say this all the time, people only do what you allow.
I agree.
So I'm telling you right now, some of these experiences that we've had since I've been on staff is absolutely crazy. There's not a single reason under the sun that we had to leave Atlanta after being in the Mercedes-Benz Dome from 10 o'clock in the morning and drive back to Virginia. Those kids got on dirty uniforms, sweaty uniforms, and everything else. But that's the kind of crap that we allow. $10,000 for a band that got 250 people in it. What does that do?
What?
But we allow it, and we're taking it. and they treating us crazy. Like it's really a pimp game. I'ma mistreat you, but you still gonna do what I tell you to do for this little bit of money. I'm gonna treat you terrible. You're gonna have cold food, you're gonna have no food, we're gonna barely feed you, you're gonna be on this bus for 100 hours.
Preach.
Amen.
This mess is nuts. I be scared every time we get an invitation somewhere or how I'm gonna be treated. And I'm old. So I'm gonna tell you right now, all them long bus rides and stuff, these marching band needs is not it.
So, Portia, you started going into my exact thoughts, right? Because let's really break this thing down, right? Look at National Battle of the Bands. I'll use them as an example. The day of the performance and even leading up to the performance, they have multiple events that are quote unquote supposed to be for the interest of building more people to come to said university. So they have scholarship programs. They have the recruitment fair. They have all of these different things that are supposed to be helping to build the university. But what is the major draw of the whole thing? The bands. And I don't know. Let me. I want to try to recall, but I can't remember a time of the National Battle of the Bands where I saw empty seats. I just don't remember that. Maybe it was a time that it did happen. But I'm gonna tell you this: if you got multiple sponsors, that means that your sponsors is covering most of your check. So you don't got to come out with that much money. And then you turn around and you bring all of these bands in who've, by the way, had to cut their summer short to come in to rehearse for your battle that you invited them to because they didn't call you, you called them. And then we'll turn around and give them enough money to get a lunch.
Hold on. Then you put them on the first round of students on a plane to come back at midnight when they don't get back to the hotel at 10 o'clock at night from the battle.
So again, are we pimping ourselves? Because again, like you said, Portia, we allow it. We allow it. That is the problem. If every program, I'm talking about from your most well-known program to the smaller program, say, hey, you know what? I'm not leaving this building without X amount of dollars. Something will change. The problem is that, oh, we doing it for the culture. We doing it for the culture. We doing it off the love. Ain't no love.
Well, we don't have those conversations. Ours goes more like, you seen our schedule? This trash. We gotta do something.
So this is what frustrates.
I'm sorry, I don't eat Golden Corral. I've had food DoorDash to the bus. I do not eat buffets, baby.
Before Quan go, y'all gotta understand, Portia a little bougie. She bougie now. She bougie.
Every time they go to one, I eat somewhere else.
All right, go ahead, bro.
So here's the reality about all of that. What you're about to see is this, because there are some programs that already are doing it to overall survive. And two things, remember, every action has a reaction. These marching bands are about to transition to athletics very, very soon, so that they can get money to truly travel and do what they're supposed to do. And what's going to take?
That's why we don't travel. That's why we don't travel.
So watch this. This is the other part that's going to take place. If the largest ensemble is not even attached to the music department, right? What do you think is going to start happening to wind ensemble, which really doesn't really happen, right? Then what are you going to think going to start happening to accreditation when music majors are not graduating? I'm telling you, you're about to see, if this does not change, you're going to see a wave of people that quote unquote going to be music majors. They're going to be graduate with music performance degrees. That's going to shift over to the education side so that they become certified by the state. Or you're going to see people that's marching in the band and they get their scholarships through athletics. I'm telling you, that's what's about to happen, because more and more people do want to travel. As a kid, they have that right and autonomy to be like, do I want to go to this band that really sounds good but goes nowhere? Or do I want to be a part of this band program that has a great band program and they travel, but I may not get the music education part? And as an 18-year-old, you cannot see the forest for the tree. I want to travel. So I'm telling you, this is the wave that's about to take place.
I
So
mean, because you think about it. I mean, it just costs so much to travel, and it the athletics departments goes everywhere, but we have to pick and choose which one trip we gonna go on.
yeah.
And if we go on one trip, I mean, you got to figure out how to rob Peter to pay Paul. Like it is absolutely nuts. But if your team winning, all of a sudden, hey, can y'all go to this game? We'll pay for it. Where was that money last week?
But I just to comment on Brother Moore's comment, he was like the athletic department going to take even more. Nah, some of these athletic directors that are cool with the band directors, that's why they're able to travel. Like what I realized, higher ed, that's why some people may change, because it is political up there. It is who you hobnob with. It is what fraternities you are in. It is who you shake hands with. That's the truth, bro. So if you don't think that, I mean, shit, shame on you. Like, it's a lot of backdoor pause. It's a lot of
Yeah, I was about to say it. Damn.
yeah,
Go
yeah, I
ahead.
got you. It's a lot of conversations behind closed doors. I don't know if I'm supposed to pause on that too, but conversations behind closed doors that these directors are being low-key fathers to 180 kids just to ensure that they have an enjoyable college experience. What Portia said is, and everybody said on the show, you want your experience to be better than yours. I've been to California 4 times. I've marched Rose Bowl. You don't think that you want to give some of these kids the same experience? I don't care if you come from middle class or you come from the project. You want to give all these kids an experience that they can say, man, when I marched in the Legion, we went here. Think about, I'm pretty sure Julian was happy. His chest was out that the Legion marched in the Rose Bowl parade. But I'm pretty sure a part of him was like, shit, that should have been us. like it's
That's true.
like it's a
And,
reality of it.
and you preaching because, and let me tell you, the reality is actually flipped. We went more places than they go. They've been getting really big opportunities, but we went to away games. But
Quite often.
now it costs so much to go to the school. So you dishing out more in scholarships. It's not that much left to travel. And it's unfortunate. We went to these places, but this more so now we have to pick.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I've been blessed, even at the high school that I'm at now. I could say, only through the grace of God, my kids, that when I first got there, the first 4 years, we went to Ohio for the NFL Hall of Fame parade. We went to Langston. We went to Atlanta to watch the Honda Battle of the Bands. We marched in Washington D.C. We went out of state every year, and we talking about high school. And how Julian talk about his experience, and everybody from Willow Ridge. This is a high school that was the first black high school to lead the Rose Bowl parade, but also did the Orange Bowl parade. They did Macy's. So you're telling me you're gonna go from those high school experiences to a college that don't go nowhere? Like, make it make sense. Yes, I am a student athlete. You know what I'm saying? A student musician athlete. But you telling me, due to the lack of funds, like, I know programs right now, they're trying to tell them that they're going to have a traveling band and then a home band to ensure that the band could travel to the away games.
How do you pick who go though?
This way we at.
So
You got a 220 piece band, but then they say, well, you only could bring 180.
that sounds like the pep band, the little pep band.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So Mr. 32K is really not that wrong. And I know a lot of y'all talking about the NIL. I'm gonna tell y'all my thoughts on that in a second. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes to PWIs, a lot of people don't know. A lot of PWIs don't have scholarships. A lot of those kids are in the band because they just want to be there. And I know that based on having numerous conversations with people from other universities at PWIs. With that being said, though, I think the difference about how they approach it is the fact that they understand that it's music education at its core. So that is the thing that takes precedent over everything. And for the most part, yes, if they're going to do a big performance, they're going to get paid for it. And they're going to make sure that they get paid for it. That's why you don't ever see them doing random battle of the bands, because most people who promote those things ain't really trying to give out no bread. But that's why you see most PWIs, when they're doing something that's not necessarily regulated to a game, it's probably behind a major corporation, because they're going to truly get paid for it. Now, am I saying that happens all the time? No, because I don't know what they all do. But I do know that by and large, if they do outside performances, they gonna get paid for it. Because most of the PWIs are pretty big when you start thinking about it.
We talking about 290 and up.
Right.
We talking about easy. And the crazy thing about when you speaking about, see, it's like it's almost like it's two different sides of the world when you speak about PWI bands and HBCU bands.
That's true.
The majority of people in the PWI bands, they're not on scholarship for the most part. Most of them kids there because they love Big Blue or Ohio. They want to dot the I, whatever the case may be. You dig what I'm saying? But when you speak about HBCUs, if you're not getting a band scholarship, you going home. It's different. Where if you look at one school, 10% may be on financial aid at the PWI school, where 90% is on financial aid at HBCU. It's a big difference. So if you don't attain that scholarship, how are you going to afford it? Not saying that everybody that is poor goes to HBCU, but the rating is high. So we truly have to sit back and truly, honestly advocate for ourselves, truly, and get those sponsors that those PWIs talking about. Everybody's talking about diversity, equity, inclusion at this moment. Why not go to them companies? Hey, if Pepsi can sponsor this, we'll drink Pepsi for the rest. I don't give a damn. You gotta sell you gotta know how to sell them dreams. And if you're not doing that, then what are we doing? Because I remember Prof Edwards, we flew to the Rose Bowl on Honda's dollar. Everybody in the band received a brand new pair of Dinkles, a brand new pair of Spats. It was 16 brand new tubas that we received because he negotiated that deal. If you're not speaking to governors, real talk, because them chancellors of the universities, oh, they know the governor. Man, you better go in there and hobnob with them people. We have to do better with selling ourselves without selling out.
Thank you. And that was going to get to my last question then. And the question to that is, so do we undervalue our student work?
We don't.
No, but it's a culture thing though. To me. Go ahead, Quan. I'll explain what I mean.
No, you good, Portia, because I think we about
I don't know that we do, but the way Here we go. The way you're treated by your pimp impacts your actions.
Whew. Hey,
Amen.
You're going to adjust yourself to not be subjected to any further cruel treatment. So you barely got this little money. So if I go say something about what my needs are, or if I push the envelope too far, it may not go right for me.
or that's one side, right, Portia? Here's the other side. Another thing what a pimp could do is make you feel like you the number one person in the world, and then they smash you on the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. They gonna dematize you, get you all caught up, and then be like, just go, just go ahead and do this one for me.
Because then it goes back to you've been making it work. You've been surviving off that money.
Or sell you a wolf ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next year when we observe the budget, but this year you got to do this for pimping. I thought it was purse. What is it? Purse before, I thought it was purse first.
I just came to dance for y'all. That's all.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
And then here's the crazy thing. That's why, if you really realize it, initially it was like that for the football team too. The first 2 games of the season, you'll have an HBCU go and get smashed.
Smashed by that PWI. Straight raped.
But watch this.
Do you know how demoralizing that is? When we went to Rutgers that year, they beat the man. I'm talking about dogs.
But here's the thing. But it's not demoralizing because you know what the coach will tell a kid? Say, remember that scholarship that I had promised? I can give it to you now.
Yep.
Then
Pimping. But we didn't got the dog. We didn't went and got mauled, embarrassed in front of these people.
$1 million though. When watch this, that may be $1 million.
But that $1 million not going to the band program.
Oh no, it's not.
To the football. It ain't going directly to athletics.
But they're gonna spend most of it. They're gonna see more than that performance that we did at the Battle of the Band.
That's true.
So it's like my mama would say, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what's gonna be your Achilles heel? You dig what I'm saying? Like them boys man, let me tell you how wild a particular Texas school, PWI in Texas did. Texas A&M wanted to let go of their coach. So what they decided to do, the alumni raised $148 million. Right? At halftime, they fired the coach because they still owed him $48 million. They fired him, paid the coach, and then hired a new coach within the next few months. We don't have that type of spending power. Unfortunately, we don't have that type of alumni support. Unfortunately, because some of us are still paying back student loans to this day. I pray Biden forgive mine. Come on, Joe, do it.
Jesus paid it all.
He did. But God, whatever you're doing in this season,
do it for me.
Don't do it without me.
Okay, don't do it without me.
Yes, Lord.
But all jokes aside, like we need to honestly start focusing on what's important for us as a HBCU, all jokes aside, because if not, we're gonna lose some of our history. I was looking at whatever band it was, but I was just looking and I was like, man, this style. Matter of fact, I was looking at J State when they performed for Nevada. I was like, man, this has been a tradition for over 50 years at this school. God forbid if we lost it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we're going to lose some traditions. We're going to lose a part of our culture due to fiduciary responsibility. I'm telling you. Come on, Luke, give it to me.
In the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, what part of the history do we care about? I think, and I know that because this is going way out of the actual conversation, but like when you say that, how many people truly know and understand the history of HBCU band culture? Not what they see in their purview right now, but the actual history. Not knowing that Tuskegee Institute was one of the first, right?
The first.
Like most people don't know that.
But what I'm saying is not to play semantics. I don't mean like the specific, like if we're playing Jeopardy. What I'm saying is the overall consensus of our band programs. It's sad that these kids they're practicing over 17 hours a week for an 8-minute show to have no money.
That's true, right? I absolutely agree with that, right? And that goes to what people were talking about as far as those NIL deals, right?
Mhm.
So, and the reason why I personally, specifically for HBCUs, is because HBCUs in a whole, and then when you incorporate the bands, right now are like the hot topic. They throwing this over in everything. You got random drum lines in commercials. You got a woman with black kids marching behind her, acting like she's a drum major. Looks terrible in that commercial. I don't even know if y'all.
It's an Affleck commercial.
Yeah, that terrible commercial. It's a hot commodity right now, right?
Pimp game.
Pimp game, right? But the thing about it is when you really clock the man hours of HBCU band programs, like you said, if you truly clock the man hours, if you give every student in a university band program $10 an hour, that is by far more than what anybody has ever offered an HBCU band program.
Mm-hmm.
So then the question becomes, and this goes back to the original question: why do we accept pennies? You want us, not the other way around. Hey, can y'all come and do this? Can y'all come and do this? Yeah, but we're not leaving here unless this amount of money is being paid. Unless you cover my buses. Unless you do, like, those are the conversations that I
Well, I'm gonna
believe need
speak
to be
to
had.
this. We don't go nowhere that you ain't covering transportation.
That's fair. That's fair. But I'm just saying, I don't know by and large if those are the questions or the comments or the statements that are being made.
They're not being made. You want to know why? Because in order to make that change, we would have to operate as a collective, and we can't do that because you not on my level, and I don't think your band program that good. Mine the only one that's good. So F you, F your program. Ain't no camaraderie. We battling, we enemies, even when we not even playing each other that week. I think that's the dumbest thing in the world. And it ain't just the students carrying it. It's the staff acting stupid like that. You know how many people I say, hey, how you doing? They walk past me at events and don't even speak. Oh, okay, girl, how you? Okay, bless you. Anyway, praise the Lord. Like, it's really not that deep.
So I'll take it a step further. Not saying all band directors don't, because apparently Mr. Bethea and Miss Stephanie doing what they're supposed to do. I believe Dr. Zachary as well, fighting for the storm. But I'm gonna tell you this: I feel like people don't have people skills really to stand on their 10 and tell a president or chancellor this is what it is.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
And at the end of the day, if a person is not advocating for their program to showing this is my value, how would they know it? Like, let's be real. If we went into the store right now and somebody was selling something for a certain price, and I'd be like, you from Houston, Jay.
You either gonna buy it or you're not.
You're not, but you know King's Flea Market. Come on, dog. Don't act like you ain't never got a throwback jersey or a gold chain for your girl. Come on. Don't act like you ain't never got that beeper.
Already. You know? Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Look, you ain't never walked into that flea market and was like, hey, how much that is? Oh, that's 2,000. All right, bro, I'll see you later. And they'd be like, no, where you going? And then be like, well, I'm gonna go look around. Okay, but for you, I'll do
for you, yeah.
And then you walk back around, you go talk to the other dude, you go lie to him, and then you come back, man, I really like you, man. All I got is 1,000. And they be like, oh, you're killing me. Well, hey, the dude over there, he offered me 9. So I could really go back, but I'm really trying to give you business. Well, I give it for 950. Like, if you don't negotiate what's best for you and your people, they're gonna take you for it. And I just feel like at the end of the day, that's the bottom line of in my opinion, because you cannot tell me from the historical aspect of Southern University, whatever they ask for, they don't get. And if they don't, then that's a problem.
But let me tell you this. Here's the bigger problem that I have, and let's call a spade a spade. It's our own people. They send our own people to do this stuff to us. They send our own people to do this stuff to us. Every one of these corporations that has a band event, a battle or whatever, find somebody that look like us to come deal with us. And that person is also allowing us to be treated like that. That person, those people, that group, they worried about lining their pockets instead of advocating for what's right for our people.
That's what I'm about to say, because they take home is a lot better than ours. I mean, that's just what the reality of the situation is. If I'm working for Honda and Honda say, hey, I need you to go find me 10 bands and I'm gonna pay you $100,000 or 125,000. Bet. All right, cool. Hey, you want to come do this battle? We'll give you 20,000 and then we'll get one of your kids a scholarship. I be like, I still don't even understand that. It's 280 kids in this band. One kid get a scholarship? Nah, my guy. Nah. But yeah, but again, that person making more than the whole band just did.
You see what I'm saying? And the thing is that it don't have to be like this. People do what you allow. And like the comment said, we can't be a collective. We would have to be on one accord to accomplish that. And we can't do that.
And I think you are literally hitting the nail on the head, which at the end of the day, and I was actually going to go live today when I was at work, but then I was just like, nah, I'll save it for tonight. The truth of the matter is we not all on the same page.
Nope.
We say we do X, Y, and Z for the culture, but we have different views of how
on what that is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How we treat the culture, what we think the culture is, how we respect the culture. Because a lot of people just think the culture is arranging and cranking up. And as long as you're doing that, we good. That's the culture. But a lot of other people have a different mindset. And until we at least get on the same page with that, how you want to run your program, I can't tell you how you run your program. But if we can get like-minded and saying we will not accept this anymore, we're going to keep struggling.
From my knowledge, when it was the Pepsi or Cracker Barrel or whatever the case may be, man, the people almost had $10 million. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the comments, but it was in the millions.
You talking about what they take home?
Yeah.
You know it's the same people.
It is.
No, it's the same people, but what I'm saying is it was they was cutting checks for like I think like $100K, like per band, or $20K, something like that.
You know Porsche was around that time. Weren't you there? Didn't you do that?
Yeah. Wasn't it like 10? Everybody got like 10K?
What are you talking about?
For the Honda, not Honda, the Houston Battle of the Band.
This time or the first time?
The first time.
I think it was like 20 G's.
Yeah. Either was 10 or 20. And
it won't a lot.
And this time they gave him what?
40.
So
or
everybody,
something.
Everybody that's been on a collegiate level know, like when I was in school, and I know inflation hits, but when I was in school, it was $10,000 to go from PV to NRG. 10 G's for that.
When we went to, it was over $200,000 for us to go to Nashville this year.
So
I brought this. I wanted to put Brother Moore's question up. So you saying that today's HBCU directors don't talk and agree to what is best for all of them to support? I'm not going to say that all HBCU band directors don't do that because I can't speak for all of them, but I can actually, from what I witnessed and from my anecdotal experience, I can say that it's not happening by and large.
Yeah,
It
not
may
on
be
a
a
large
group.
scale.
Yeah, it
There
may
are
be a group of
pockets,
them.
right? There are pockets of them that talk, but if you're talking about across divisions and conferences, and a lot of that is not happening.
I'll put it even in a better way, because when I was at Prairie View, I actually witnessed this. Dr. Sanford, if you all truly know Dr. Sanford, Doc has been an advocate for years of adjudication for HBCU band programs at these Battle of the Bands, and then B, valuing the music education of HBCU band programs. And he was saying this not even when I was just an undergrad, but even when I was teaching at PV. I say all that to say I've watched so many band directors go against him because of the fact that it is contrary to what the status quo is at that particular time. So when you look at some of the people that Doc would have around and that he would have in close quarters, and those are typically the people that agreed with him. All the other ones that didn't did their own thing. And I witnessed that firsthand. So yes, band directors talk, but I don't think that by and large they're talking about having these types of conversations and saying we
Right.
need better for our programs, by and large.
And then not just talking, but agreeing not to be pimped any further. They can only do this if we allow it, if we're agreeing to it. But somebody gonna say, I got a small program. I need 10,000. So I'm gonna go.
But guess what? If you're a small program, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, go and do your thing. But you're gonna have to get to a point where you're gonna be like, nah, I can't do it.
It ain't worth it. It's not worth it.
I don't know if I necessarily fully agree with that though.
What
I
you
don't
mean?
know if you're a small program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we talk in numbers, small would be what considered 20, 80, well, not 20, 800. I mean, not 80, 80. I don't know where I got 800 from. 80 or 90.
It's band program with 50 people.
No. I'm asking, what are we?
If you telling me this is no shade because I know she's doing a great job. But for example, like Texas College, you're telling me if you had that opportunity to present yourself as a small band, you're not gonna go? Yeah.
Okay. So, but getting to my point. So I got you. Okay. So we talking small. All right. So no. I'm not saying it like that because she is doing a great job. She's doing a great recruiting job, all that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because if you're a small program, remember that if you go to these events, there ain't gonna be no draw. Nobody's gonna show. So if everybody's in solidarity with one another, that means that and let's just use Texas College as an example, if Texas College decides to agree on this and Southern decides to agree on this, and they all agree that they ain't leaving their band rooms unless it's X amount of dollars, then not only does Southern get their money that they deserve by far, but Texas College not only gets the money that they deserve, but they also get the exposure that they deserve as well.
I feel you. So I'll retract my statement. So I don't doubt that. One thing that we've seen is in 1955 with the bus boycott is you hit people where it hurt. Now I don't agree with the bus boycott on some different stuff because we had our own buses. That's a whole different story. But I understand the aspect of solidarity. But if you look at it, when y'all remember when Colin Kaepernick took that knee, it was like we banning, we not watching football, and then they played lift every voice, and we was like, I guess we watching football again. Like
No, and see, I never agree with that because here's the
trash.
thing: all we had to do, the black football players, is say until that man work again, until y'all stop treating him crazy, we're not coming. Football, they would have had to give because most of the team is black. Who you gonna send out there? Jimmy Bob?
Hell yeah.
Jimmy Bob.
We don't need those colors anyway.
Okay, they would have had that. Would have been an interesting thing. But we can't come together in that way.
Because here's the truth. I'll say this, and this was big. I have a friend that personally retired from the NFL. He says what people fail to realize is there's a whole bunch of thousandaires and there's not a lot of millionaires in the NFL. So the people that are millionaires, they could sit. They're not tripping. Their lives, they have created generational wealth. But that person on that practice squad that make $3,000 a week, he gonna get up and go.
But what I'm telling you is I feel that.
Mhm.
But if nobody showed up, they would have had to cave. Them would have been some boring games. I'm trying not to curse. Boring games.
I feel you. No, I agree. Here's the thing: everybody's not willing to be the sacrificial lamb like Muhammad Ali and Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Those people, when they die, they become martyrs. But while they're alive, they're villains. The question is, what band director, what music educator is willing to die on the sword to be the martyr for everybody else?
But and that was one of the topics that I had on Luke's band report, was the fact that it's a hard decision to make. You either be honest with the reality of the situation and you stand up for it, or you lose your job. Because let's be real. Let's be really honest. There's a lot of things you just can't say because you're gonna lose your job. So you either gonna die on that hill, or you're gonna have to keep quiet and keep talking to us and just send it right over here to the show and we can talk about it right here. But either way, my point is you got to make a decision, and that's a hard decision to make.
Let's be real. There are certain things we tailor because we know. We're not scared. What I'm saying is,
yeah, I'm trying to keep my little job.
There's certain things that we know that we censor ourselves, because if we really could get down, we know. The crazy thing is, we're in some of those rooms when these conversations are taking place, and we look at them people like, you're not the same person that was talking that bowl online. You're not the same person that be a thug on the internet. Like, we know them people. Them people are touchable. All I'm saying, bro, is like everybody that's saying they big steppers, they not. That's all I'm saying. So I feel it. The question is, I'll be quiet after this, but what's your price? That's what you gotta ask yourself. What's your price?
I heard one place before that it's relatable, but because we talking about pimping, but somebody said in one of the podcasts that I listened to that every woman has a price. I'm not relating this to women. I'm just saying, going back to Quan's statement, what's your price? I agree to that. Everybody
has a price, bro.
Everybody
has a price. The thing is, are you willing to pay for it though?
And with that being said, this has been. We're not gonna open the line. So before I get ready to shut down, real talk. It didn't happen today. I told them via text message, and I'm really working on trying to keep the shows a little shorter. Didn't happen. We had an hour and 21 minutes. I was really trying, but we get so good into these conversations. It's really difficult to be able to try to tailor it to like 45 minutes. I don't know. Maybe we should start adding that to the Patreon. I'll think about that. The overtime will be in the Patreon anyway, and that means that everybody can get in on that one. But no, man, this has been super dope, man. We got to value ourselves at the end of the day, and I don't know what that's gonna take, man. I really don't. I have no clue, but I can tell you, we gonna keep advocating for it every single time and every single choice that we have to be able to speak on it. I'm telling you that right now. That's not gonna change. All right, let's get ready to get out of here though. We're not gonna open it today. Like I said, I was trying to keep it to about 45 minutes. We out here in an hour and 22 minutes. I held over on Quan's time. I'm sorry, bro. I don't be meaning it. But anyway, let's try to get ready to close out. Portia, any final thoughts, anything you got for the culture?
We would be unstoppable if we could come together. That's their fear, that we'll start advocating as a unit. And so I hope that this happens at some point, that we can start setting standards for ourselves across these band programs, because even with the rivalries, we should want the same opportunities and same things for our students. So I don't know what it would need to take to get it done, but at some point we have to be better and want better and require better for ourselves and our programs.
All right. And before I go to Quan, Bailey, that's definitely a good idea. I wrote that down in my notes, so you ain't got to worry about it. We'll look into that. Quan, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
In the words of Dave Chappelle, before you get it, before you hit big, name your price. And once you see that price, leave it there. Whatever that is, and whatever facet of life that you need to speak about, whatever is your price, name it. And once you get there, leave it.
All right. With that being said, like I said earlier, we have got to continuously value ourselves, value our program, value our students, man. If we say it's for the culture, really understand what that means being for the culture. We got some extra stuff coming up. Crystal has got a series that she's starting that she wants to get ready to get out here. We're going to launch that. It was supposed to start this week, but it will not start this week. So just be on the lookout for that. Obviously, Luke's Band Report is going to keep going. As long as there's band stuff, music education going on, there's always gonna be a Luke's Band Report. So y'all can make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all go back and check out the last episode that we did. We were talking about ourselves, man. Y'all were able to see some old school videos of us, me looking extra phony. Can't even march. I had the fat ham hawk leg. I couldn't even hit a 90, man. I would think I was hitting about a 25. I was skating. But you can go ahead and look at that, man. Please make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, pass this information out. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead, give it out. Tell your mama to go ahead and subscribe. She probably don't even watch. She was like, "What did, baby? Just subscribe. That's all you got to do." Man, this has been a super dope episode. This has been great. Quan, Portia, do me a favor though. Stay after, because I do have to talk to you guys very quick. I know, Quan, you got your things you got to do, but I'm gonna be very quick. Other than that, man, you guys keep it locked. We appreciate y'all, and we will see you guys on next week.